Alright, so this right here, this is another circuit that I built up. I'm not gonna be able to actually use it. A little bit ticked off that I can't be able to use it. It is what it is, but I'll explain it in a minute. So this entire little device, whatever, is built around this right here. These different elemental seeds from mystical agriculture. I just got into it and taking a look at mystical agriculture. Uh, this is what I need right here: air essence. And the way to normally get it is to run it through a mystical greenhouse multi-block. So you take a look at the multi-block. It shows you a bunch of different things that you can get out of this. But I need these air essences, and well, all the different base essences is air, earth, fire, and water. And between those four, that's how you can make all the other different essences to get different seeds or whatever. So those different seeds have different resources and all that. But I need a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So my idea was to take all the four basic seeds and grow those and produce a lot of the different elemental essences. And that's what this device was supposed to be. I'll explain the reason why I can't use this in a minute or whatever. So I started off down here trying to design a circuit, and this uses a couple of different redstone components or whatever. But this right here is a binary counter, meaning that when you said rinse those signals into it tells you digitally what how many signals you sent into it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter the strength of the signal. It's just dependent on the quantity of signals that you send into it. So right now this is set to 0. So I didn't really know how to use this, but I knew that I needed it, so I just messed around with it for a little bit. And of course, you send a basic redstone signal through the back. If you want to lock the signals, like say if I have two signals, this counts 2 times. I can lock it from this side, or I can reset it from the right side. So in my particular use case, I needed to actually reset the number. So this counts up to whatever I set it to. I had it initially set to 7, and then it resets. The reason why I set to 7 is basically based around these plants. When you put the plant in the soil, it's at growth stage 0, and it takes 7 stages. I had to actually sit here and count it. And I counted it with right here. This is where I counted it with an observer. So every time the observer sees uh if you don't know what an observer is basically a block update detector. So anything in front of it that changes state is going to read and send out a redstone signal, and then it's going to light up the lamp. So this went through all its different growth stages before it became mature, and there were 7 different steps, and every single step the lamp would light up. That's how I counted it. That's how I got the number 7, right? Really, it's 8, and I'll explain it in a minute later on. But yeah, so it counts to 7, right? It reads that sensor signal over here, and then I have a lectern right here with 15 pages in it, and it's turned to page 7. Uh, when you have a comparator that's attached to a lectern with a book in it, it can read the power level from it. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is sending out um, the power of 7. You know what I'm saying? Redstone goes from basically power of 0 to the power of 15, and this is set to 7. So that's the only signal that I want to send out. That's reading out from the lectern, right? So I'm sending that signal, the power of 7, through here, through the snow block, into another comparator that's also reading it as power 7. They're sending it over here, and that's getting sent into this comparator right here. And then this comparator is also set to 7. And when you send a signal into the side of the block, normally you have to send the power into the back of the block. But once you send it into the side of the block, if this side right here reaches the power of 7, then it'll combine with this block, and then it will send out a redstone signal. That redstone signal I have to travel all the way around here It's gonna there's two different ways it's coming out. Right here is going to activate this redstone repeater, and then it's going to send the signal into the right side of this counter block, and then it's going to reset this entire block back to zero. Right, the other signal is going to be right here with the redstone torches. Once this gets activated, it activates that and it also activates this, and then there's a observer in front of this block right here that's going to send out a signal to a bunch of different modular routers to tell the modular routers to put more water down with a bucket, and then to pick up that water with a watering can and to water the plant, as well as break the plant if it already reached maturity, break the plant and then replace it. And that's how I loop the entire system and keep it going on and on and on. So I expanded on the idea, and this is what I came up with. This is the entire circuit for the most part. So back here is the same thing. It's a binary counter to count growth stages. You know what I'm saying? Growth stage counter, basically. You know what I'm saying? Back here is the observer that's sitting in front of the seed. That's gonna count the growth stages of the seed. You know, I have the watering can in here and activated modules. These activated modules act as basically fake players. You know what I'm saying? So what it's going to do is water this plant, and then as soon as there's no more water in the watering can, it's going to pick up this water source right here, pull it back into the modular router block, and then re-water the plant and all that. And when you water the plant, that's how you get it to grow quickly. And then over here, I have a water bucket. You know what I'm saying? I took it out and put it in the thing because it makes a lot of noise. But the water bucket is going to constantly pick up water from this fluid cell. It's going to right click this fluid cell, pick up the water, put it back into the block, and then put the water down here. Right now the water's already down here. And then like I said before, this watering can is going to pick up the water source block. The reason why it's like that is because normally when you have a watering can and you go to pick up a water cell, it removes the water source block. So that's the reason why I needed to constantly put a water source block down here, and that's how I came up with the aqueous accumulator. Two source blocks on the side of water, and this is basically an infinite water source now, but it's in the machine form. So, you know, and then this fluid cell is actually configured to pull water from the aqueous accumulator into it, and then it sits right there, and then, you know, bucket it back and forth like I was talking about. The other redstone signal I was talking about, you know what I'm saying, once I reset the counter, is right here. So you have this right here, one torch to deactivate another torch. These torches are constantly on, and then when that entire signal runs through the system, this observer reads it and sends a signal out this way, and then this is my redstone line right here with observer blocks, and then it's going to trigger this block right here. This block right here is set to break the seed down here. It's gonna break it, and then this one is gonna pick it up as a seed and then replant it. You know what I'm saying? When it gets to 8 and I break it, it's gonna give me the air essence. This is an earth seed right now, so it's gonna give me earth essence. The earth essence is gonna get sucked into this block. I have a vacuum module that's going to vacuum up any loose items, and then the sender module. The sender module is configured to send it into the super chest, so that collects it right there. So this is a full working system. The only reason why this doesn't work is because of the actual watering can. The watering can itself seems to actually not work inside the modular router. You know what I'm saying? The watering can is you need basically a fake player. That's the reason why you have an activated module. Same thing with deployer. That's the reason why I have it here, in order to make it work without a player. You know what I'm saying? So you have to actually shift, which means you need to be crouching and right clicking in order to water the plant. Now the problem is that you have to shift right click to pick up the water. So the only thing that can shift And right click is actually a module that's set to that. You know what I'm saying? So this one is set to that. If I click it, I have sneak on, and whitelisting the watering can is pointed to the left, which is the left side of the block, and the action is to right click it. Right? So theoretically this will work, no issue. The problem is that it doesn't work. For whatever reason, it doesn't work. The modular router can replant the seeds, but it doesn't use the watering can. So it's some kind of issue with the watering can that I haven't figured out. And I already set FTB chunks and all of that to look for fake players and allow fake players to where is it? You have to go into the options for FTB. Yeah, you have to go into the settings down here. So I already set this before to allow fake players to actually interact with the world, because that's the issue that I was having with the tree farm back in the day, and the reason why it wasn't working. And I don't see it in here now. I have to really look through this, but it's setting up here that says allow fake players. I'll go back through this and check it again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's right in front of my face. But yeah, but anyway, so that's not the issue. The issue is that the watering can somehow is coded to just only players, and it can't do anything else. So it kind of negates the entire fact of trying to grow these seeds quickly, because that's the only thing that's gonna be that's the benefit of this machine, is that you're growing the plant quickly, making the essence quickly, and putting it into the thing. You know what I'm saying? You can set it up as the way it is, but it doesn't make any sense because you need a lot of essence, right? I try to use deployers. The only issue with deployers is that you can't make a deployer crouch and right click. It can only do a right click. That's it. So that's completely out. Unless I can figure out a way to do that, but I haven't seen any kind of way where you can make a deployer crouch and right click. But it's something that I need to actually look online and see if anybody else has actually done that. The other thing is that most fertilizers don't work with mystical agriculture plants in this particular pack. I remember being able to use bone meal and stuff like that for this, but it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can. They just disabled it because mystical agriculture has its own form of fertilizer for these plants, and you can't make that fertilizer. You can't make the mystical agriculture fertilizer. They disabled it. Bone meal doesn't work on these plants. It's disabled. Thermal expansion is also in this pack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they have Fighter Grow. That's the fertilizer for thermal expansion. Fighter Grow doesn't work for this, and there's also Farmer's Delight in the pack as well. That's what these two farmland blocks are from, and those also don't work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a fertilizer specifically for Farmer's Delight. That also doesn't work for these plants, and that's all that I've seen really in this pack. So the only real way to really get these air seeds is like they don't really give you any options, you know, which I don't like. So the only one way to actually get a lot of air essence is to do the mystical greenhouse way. This is the only way to do it. Oh, this is the actual machine. This is not a multi-block. Okay. Yeah, so this is the only way to actually do it. And you only have one option. They don't want you to go outside of this option, which I don't like. I want to have an option to do something else as well. But now that I'm looking at that, this is a single block. This is just a single block machine. That it's really not that bad. But I would have liked to actually use this circuit. You know what I'm saying? Um, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm still proud of this circuit because I did get it to actually work. Um, It is still working. This right now, this one right here is happens to be off, because this is outputting a signal of 5, and this is set to 8, not 5. And I have the same issue back here. You know what I'm saying? That's because when I was testing this, they obviously still growing or whatever, so it kind of threw the entire thing out of sync. So this is set to 3, you know, and different stuff like that or whatever. And it's not like how I have the original one configured, but I already know it works because I already went through the entire thing building this up, so I know the entire thing works. I'm just disappointed a little bit because I can't use it. You know what I'm saying? But I did design it, and it's still sitting right here. And this test world's not going to go anywhere, even after I complete this pack, which is not going to be for a long time. So I'm still going to have this circuit. So I'm gonna just leave it here the way it is, and if I run across another pack, which is any other pack basically that doesn't have GT in it, I'll be able to actually use this circuit for that and utilize it. Because any circuits or anything that I build, I like to actually utilize it in a use case and not just sitting here. You know what I'm saying? So I will get to use it. Maybe in another pack that I got going on. I currently have another create pack going on that I haven't gotten back to in a long time. I have a lot of work that I've done in there. I'm basically made a mob farm that has a sunroof, um, that operates with create and regular vanilla redstone. I made a vanilla redstone circuit for it, and this is before I even knew about mechanical bearings, because I could have just avoided the entire redstone circuit that I created, because it was pretty complex. It was complex to the point that I left that world for a couple of months and then came back, and then I forgot what I even did with the redstone when I was looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But it still works, so I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is nothing that I could use for right now, but I'm glad that I still designed it and still made it or whatever. And for the most part, I know for a fact that they try to get rid of every possible way of actually manipulating these plants outside of the one way that they want you to manipulate the plants. So I'm not gonna really give it. I'm gonna give this a little bit more research as to find out a way I can get around that. Maybe I could change the configuration or something like that. But I mean, I could and just reverse everything they did. But I also want to play the pack the intended way that they wanted you to play the pack. Anyway, that's it for now.